until
And then
he gets good.
Good morning, Chennai. This is Metro Mornings. You're with me, Jane, on Chennai Live 104.8 FM. This is Live and Let Live Fridays, and it's a show that talks about parenting in the contemporary context. Not just parenting, from like, oh, I don't know how to deal with it, but how it really does matter because for every school going child, a college going child, or a young parent, or a parent who possibly has grown up children, today, how to deal with a family, how to make sure that it's kept happy and intact is a very important part of how we grow, how we live, how we learn. Yesterday I was checking a couple of posts on Facebook, and I saw a good friend of mine, Aisha. I'm not sure if she's listening in, but she'd put up a post with her. I think 90-year-old mum, and I saw a little video that the grandkids had posted, grandkids from across the world. It really touched me. I did post a like, but that's when I realized that wherever you live today, the bond that a family has, the more beautiful it is, the better that it comes out, the more the children also get to go out there and do so much in their lives. I mean, there's so much of meaning to life when parenting is done in just the right way. So it doesn't have to be traditional, it doesn't have to be scary, it doesn't have to be strict. It can be the way that you want to customize it for your own house, but how exactly can you make it right is the big question on the show. Sometime back we spoke to Vijay Kumar from CSS Corp, and how he said as a young dad, it's important for a dad to also be a mom today because you have double income households, and it's important that both parents step it up, unlike in the older days where the father was just the weekend father, but today it becomes a more hands-on approach to how things go. But we have a young one in the house. She's just 15, and she's Arundhati David, and I pronounced her school name wrong, so I'm going to do it right this time. It's Abacus. That's where she studies. Good morning, Arundhati, and welcome to the show.
Good morning.
All right, it's lovely to see a young lady in the house. When I was little like you, your age, I had hair exactly like you. I had short hair. Isn't it easy to like go to school without caring too much about your hair?
Yeah, it's nice because it's really free.
That's lovely. And you have curly hair, so that means you're always going to, be known for it, isn't it?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess.
like your bob of curls. Awesome. Thanks so much for joining us. Tell us, for you, how important is parenting, and what do you look at? Do you look at it as something, which has to be taught, or which has to be, kind of taken as time passes?
Well, I don't think parenting has to be taught like in a very stringent way, but more like with experience and also with maybe talks and discussions, and maybe you just read about things and think, yeah.
So that kind of awareness
more
really
exposure,
helps.
yeah.
Right. Exposure, you said, and I'm going to bring your school into this because you did say you have a different format of schooling from a lot of the kids in the country. Tell us about how the Montessori system works and how it kind of has opened your mind along with that of your parents.
Yeah, so basically the Montessori method, it's a more free, hands-on method of education. So I've studied in a Montessori school all my life, so basically whenever I learn things, I prefer to do it in a way that I'm experiencing what I learn, and I am free to ask questions and whether what I'm doing is right or wrong, and whether a concept I'm learning, just all about the concept. So that has given me a certain amount of independence to make my own decisions and freedom.
What is
So-
the latest concept they taught you at school? Anything interesting that you were like, wow, okay, now this is something that I'd like to use for life?
Well, basically now I'm in class 11, so I'm doing humanities subject. So in English we're analyzing literature and poets. Like we just finished Browning, and so basically the way I analyze literature might not be the same way as my teacher, but it doesn't mean what I'm doing is wrong. So I mean, it's not like what I'm doing is right, wrong. Since it's literature, a very free thing. So I'm given my freedom to analyze it the way I want to, and that way I think it broadens my horizon as
What
well.
about Browning do you like?
Well, I like the morbidity of his poems.
Aren't you too young to like morbid stuff? Yeah, I shouldn't be judging. That's exactly what you said, right? Right, so that's beautiful. But you did tell me off radio about how this experience of a very open system of education has also been translated to how you have an interaction with your parents. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it is reflected back at home because the way I learn in school by making my own decisions, the same way at home with my family, we make our decisions together. It's not like I can't make my own decisions, it's just my mom and dad. We all get together and we make our decisions. Like the most recent big decision that we made was probably building a farmhouse. So
That's beautiful. Where is the farmhouse at?
it's near Mahabalipuram, Tirukkalakundram. Yeah, it's small, and basically it means a lot when you do it by yourself. So all of us, like I was in charge of the brickwork in the farm, and my brother was in charge of finances. So my mother and my father, they didn't even look at the finances. He was in charge of the employees, how they were, like all the laborers, how they were fine with their work. He was making them tea, and he was in charge of their salary and all the costs, like for equipment and everything. So
Wow, so you took care of the brickwork, brother of the labor. Mom, what did she do?
she was like basically she designed the house, so she was helping out with that.
And the dad?
He didn't do much.
So now I know. What's your dad's name?
David.
Alright, so David's the clever man. So Mr. David, if you're listening in, that's very good job. What is that story where, isn't it Tom Sawyer? Or,
Yeah, Tom.
I think it is Tom Sawyer, right? Where everybody is doing the wall and he's like, yes, that's nice. So yeah, that's interesting. So all four of you in the family involved in your own ways, including Mr. David, who motivated you, I bet. But that's lovely. I would love to know, when you started doing this project, how excited were you and how are you at this point in time? How much of the house is finished?
Well, right now we're nearly done with the house.
Okay.
We started in the middle of the summer holidays. That's like May, June.
That's quite
Yeah.
fast. Some of the real estate companies listening in might probably be like, good way. I think we should get the families involved in getting their houses up.
Well,
Right.
it was like a new experience altogether because we're actually building the house, and I
Beautiful.
mean,
So what does the house look like if you were to give us a visual of it?
well, it's not like the houses you see in the city usually because it's exposed brick. We followed the Laurie Baker, we followed his principles. So basically, it's exposed bricks and has a mezzanine floor. It's not very big, but it means a lot because
Wow,
we
lots
actually,
of open spaces.
Yeah.
Is there a garden?
well, it's a farm, so
It's a farm,
the
so there
garden-
will be.
yeah.
Who's going to take care of the garden?
My dad.
Your dad.
Yeah.
Now we know where he comes. And are there going to be any animals on the farm?
Well, so far no, because we don't live there. So
Animal Farm by George Orwell is my next recommend to you since you
I've
like
read
to
it.
read. You've read it?
Yeah.
Wow, you've read it. I read it much later. Do you like it?
yeah, I like it. a lot,
Yeah, all right. Thanks so much for sharing that. Well, so the relevance of parenting, as far as you're concerned, is something that's very hands-on and it can be acquired and learned as you go on, but it has to be participative, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone has to be involved in it. That's what
Beautiful.
I feel.
Thanks so much for sharing that. On the other side, we'll come back to Kesang and we'll speak some more. If you'd like to give us a call and talk to us about how your Friday is progressing, 4242-1048. That's the number you can call us on. I have a couple of mentions for you guys. We had a lovely guest talk about how they have a house out of the city. If you guys would like to build your own house like her, I think you're more than welcome to do that. It's a wonderful project. But apart